And then the armor is what we're aiming for. Let's rest. Use this quickly. No, we're not going to... We bought the rope so we could make that. Need a lockpick for the blacksmith. And we're out of iron for now. Okay. Can rest. Continue. Leave. And now, again, we're super close to our next knowledge point. We're going to persuade this guy to let us mine. We're going to learn mining with Thonar here. Gained 40 experience from that. That's pretty good. We just leveled up our mining. Okay, that's something we haven't done before, so that's going to be interesting. Let's get our influence back. Net gain is 0. That 10 salt stealing that is definitely interesting. I wonder what they've 30 to 40. That's a lot. Having that salt would be good for cooking, though, that's for sure. So now if we go back to our station here, we can make our first fish hook. Then we need 1 more piece of wood. 3 more pieces of wood to make. Our blacksmith is... We'll learn some more stuff when we get back to town, I guess. Interesting. We have 2 knowledge points. I think we can take... I'm kind of thinking of taking these 2 first, to be honest. But let's wait. Wait for the recipes and see what we can do there. So now we need to... Oh, no. Head back. You can see if these guys have anything interesting for sale. They don't. Learned all the professions but one that we've discovered. But also haven't made enough money yet to do much of anything. We need to get down to the other side of the area. Wasn't a bad trip on the road. Let's go to the blacksmith. Well, we need wood. Alright, that's unfortunate. We can make rags, though. We gotta do that. Damn it. I think there's a special spot when you get them all yellow to get extra bonuses. There is. Alright. Interesting. So for now... I'm going to give that to Thor. And then we'll pass them down as we go. I think regular people start with armor, but we'll hang on to that for a second. to the tab, and it's been 8 hours. Let's see if the board's any different. Okay, most of them start off with some basic. Oh, okay. Oh, and there's more. Okay, we need to clear some off before they add new ones. All right, that's what the deal is there. Ranger with Wrath. Ranger with First Aid. And Guy with Taunt. Guy with Taunt is Resilient. Ranger is Bloodthirsty and has Wrath. What skill would we give them? They could be our fishermen or something, and then we would get... We need a cook as well. Can we afford to recruit her even? That's the real thing. No, we're short on a couple gold. Well, that's not true. We could sell... There. Now we... No, that wasn't... Oh, how much did we get? I guess we were down at 40. Still short by 2 gold to try and get that recruitment. And I have to just start marking this quest a bit more down here. Try and defeat the church and then come back up. I think that's the smart play. Also, I swear there's some wood here somewhere. All right. There's some there that's enough for us to get what we need done. Then we go to the mill. Talk to her. She lies through her teeth. Take the key. Use the key. Take the book. Learn the skill point. Talk to these guys. Come back up there. Loot 2 stacks of wood. That's actually quite good for us. It's a ton of wood. Now we have to fight this group. Remember, this was a hard fight before. Hopefully we have some better luck this time. Oh, cat is screaming her head off. Their setup is pretty much like everyone's staring down at each other. That's not the worst. Archer here. Bring this guy up. Who's got the most armor? This guy? Not quite enough. Swap these spots. We'll save that. It's damage. Oh, good hit. That was a good hit. This is interesting. A rogue gets to come in, a ranger gets to come in here. Throw the spear. Please kill that thing. Almost. I guess you get a pretty good hit on this thing. Oh, that's a pretty good turn. You guys gonna come in and do a spin maybe? Yeah, I was worried about that. Everyone's poisoned. Everybody gay. does some good damage. I think between this arrow and his backstab, that kills him. Then we get to come around here, get some surround bonus maybe? I think that's what should have happened. He gets to use this ability here. I'm going to lay in on this guy. And I'm going to double up the damage there. It's a really good turn for him. One guy dying now. Shit. Oh yeah, I love the kill animations. It's a nice touch. Hopefully this is going to be enough. Oh, it is! Oh yeah! Nice victory. We didn't end up losing a guy either. It's pretty good. Take the 24 gold. We're going to heal our 2 wounded guys. We have to level up our archer. Flat out take the old dex. And we'll level up Merrick, which is our thief/ranger. We're going to give him more dexterity. And the same thing. So these guys are getting killing blows. Oh, no. We've now beat that area. We should be able to make cooking pot. Yeah. We now have 3 points. We made 82 gold from that, so we can probably afford to pay our... No, we have nothing for these guys either. We don't need food items. Well, wheat wouldn't be the worst thing, actually. I take that back. Plan was to get this person, I believe. All right. Your companions doubt she is up to the task. Interesting. But we've seen a couple different responses to that. Don't really know what qualifies that for a thing or not. She's got bloodthirsty, but she's also going to be... We can make her a cook or a fisherman. Fisherman gives her willpower, which is going to make her, which adds to her crit rating, I believe, right? Yeah. So we'll make her the fisherman. Now, the problem is that does not give us a cook. We really want a cook. Have the 24 gold to get repairs done even. Oh no. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now we do. Three iron ore to make the necessary throwing dagger. And I need 1 more leather. know that there's iron here, an investigation spot. We could get lucky. Sadly, they don't have anything we need either. We'll go off and get this iron. And that wood, it might head back to town again. Oh, come on. Nothing? That's bullshit. Cloth, not horrible. I'd like to have gotten something out of that other one. It's all random, so it is what it is. There's a fight.
Yeah, baby!
Hey, Chicka Wow Wow, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Night Owls. So we got a big weapon guy, a head, and 2 hatchmen. These guys are brutal. Then our other person way back here. Let's try and consolidate this a little bit. Sure, that seems to work. Who's going first on their team? Numbnuts over here. We still hit him. No, we have to go. Yes, just enough. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the game, stuff like that. So we're just checking out WarTales. It came out December 1st. Early access, turn-based, low fantasy game. Really has a lot of depth to it, actually. I don't think we want our team to move up. Want these guys to that's what I was looking for. Get outside of his. I'm finding the game great, actually. I got it as a kind of a whim purchase. I'm not expecting a ton from it because it was an early access game. Wasn't sure, the graphics are not, astounding or anything like that. There was only 300 reviews or so, but they were all positive. But to be honest, I find the depth that it has is way more than I anticipated. It's very challenging. There's a lot of moving parts. My biggest complaint is that maybe they're not articulated as well as they could have been. So figuring out what they are and how they work was sometimes a bit more of a challenge. I feel like it should have or had to be, but yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of resource management. There's the characters are not personable but deep. And what I mean by that is the team that you see me playing with here. They're randomly generated, so you don't really get to create them. And when they die, they're dead, gone. And their idea is that you can, I'm sure there's other mechanics. There's a happiness mechanic, making sure you can pay the wages of your team, making sure you can feed the team and the animals that you have with you. But some of the really neat things that I've seen that I didn't anticipate, for example, in one of the fights, and I should be trying to do it here, with some wolves, I was able to get a guy behind it, and because I had rope and the wolf was already engaged in combat, we were able to tie up the wolf, and then it became like an AI companion for the group until it died, which was super neat. There's a whole wanted system for stealing and how suspicion works with town guards, which is a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. So I'm hoping I'm going to try and maybe capture this guy here. So we bought some shackles. I'm not sure to see how they work, and we're going to test. So we want to test how they go. But we need the person we're talking needs to be engaged, like this person is here, sort of not paying attention. And then we need to get a guy, I think, behind him to use it. So if I get him back here, no, it didn't. I was expecting to see another icon come up, but all right. Ooh, critical hit. There's also kill animations, which are really neat as well. They're somewhat generic, but It's better than none. So I am now going to try the same thing I did before. Yeah, I'm not seeing the option to incapacitate the guy. There it is right there. So he's low enough health. I have chains. Can be used as... So next turnaround, I'm going to try and take advantage of this ability. So we're not going to kill him. Let's move everyone, lock him in place. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I guess he has to be below 50% health. So he's stunned. He's unconscious now. We've won the fight. And now, this fighter was stunned in combat and was taken prisoner. So I can execute him, release him. He's got no gear. This is super neat, because there's a prison now I'm going to try and take him to. And we got his hammer. Gold. The loot's all random, too. My one guy leveled up. I think the level experience is not spread equally among the groups. So the other thing that's really cool is that depending on who gets the kill, things depends on how much your guy levels up. When you get your character, my guy started off a little brute, but brutes, unlike archers, and these are difference between some of the main classes, the subclasses, now I get to choose three of the subclasses: Destroyer, Smasher, Vanguard. And this unlocks the armor he can wear and another base attack. Dude, it's... And then, so I'm going to take... this one here, so that levels up here, and then I get to upgrade a stat. And this is... I haven't figured out the difference, but sometimes you're able to level up different stats, depending, I think, on what you've done currently. Also, the professions that you get, as you level them up, I'll give you stats as well. For example, he's now a level 2 miner, so being a miner is giving him +2 Constitution, 1 Strength. If I change, you can pass these around, it wipes out all the experience. So I'm able to make him a miner. I'm able to find 7 professions so far. They all have their own like little tree to it. So this guy's going to be a destroyer. We're going to go more critical hit here, I think. Actually, I'm going to take movement, so he can actually move around the board a little bit better. So I have some guy who's got an injury. So this is which is the guy we captured. We have 2 guys with broken pieces of armor. We can't repair that. It's a lot of resource management in the game. Corpses are a thing that I'm not taking, but and time is constantly running, so you got to remember to pause. There's a whole knowledge tree. Here's all that you gain that has its own feats, and one of the troop benefits you can get by having learned stuff is called cannibalism. I haven't seen what that does completely yet, but it allows you to eat the corpses of, I think, of the guys that you fight, which might help you with food management. But I'm hoping there is some negative thing to that as well, like you lose all the happiness or something like that, and people start leaving. I've been saving the points this time around to try and unlock maybe some more of these recipes. In this case, I want to get the heavy armor there. So I have 2 points left. I'm going to go here. Moving around the board is depends on how much fatigue you have, which means how often you have to sleep, and also how often you have to pay wages. So I'm going to take endurance training here, which lets me move around the map a little bit faster. And because I'm going to be recruiting a bunch of people and I'm actually concerned about my wages, I'm going to take futility here, which reduces the wages I have to pay for my party by 10%. And I have to camp now. So here's my camp. I've already got a cooking station, but I can't use it right now because unless I want to take Vanguard here, which is now part of my party. Because I captured him, he is now part of my group. And that's the pain in the ass thing is, I gotta feed his ass too. But I could make him a cook now, so I have 2 professions that I don't have anyone actively doing, which is the alchemist and my cook. And cooking is huge because I need it lets you refine food resources and makes it easier to feed your team. This is going to be a big problem now because this is where things might go off the rails. I only have 2 pieces of food and I don't have enough money to currently pay my team. So what's going to happen here? Actually, we're screwed. Uh, this was the thing about the game. It's brutally challenging because a simple mistake can basically spell disaster for your entire playthrough. So what's happened here is I don't have enough food on me now to feed my group, so I can't rest. Even though I have some food, it has to be all or nothing. And even with this little camp sign above my head, you'll notice that this thing starts growing. And what's going to happen here in a second is you'll probably see my horse is going to die from exhaustion. Now, if I'm super lucky, which I don't think I'm going to be, I might make it back to the town and be able to rest for free, but I'm still not going to have the money likely to keep not pay everyone's wage. So I managed to get back into the area. I can go to the tavern here. I can speak to this guy. I can rest. Now everyone's at least rested. I can sell this hammer, which I might actually need to do. I'm going to sell this sandstone. I'm going to sell this fishing hook. Try and give me enough. And then he is about to get level 2 and he's resilient. He's the guy who's gaining more experience. She is bloodthirsty. But who can use? Anyone uses hammer? There we go. This guy can use the hammer. So nice thing about that is it lets me sell this club. We're back at 53 crones, which might be enough inevitably to hopefully pay my team. But now that they've eaten, what I'm gonna and this is basically all for the sake of experimentation here. The idea is I think they also expect you to die and have to restart a few times because there's a progress meter here at the top. This represents how much you've done of the overall story arc of this region. And that's when and when you complete that, it looks like when you start a game, it unlocks other regions for you to start off in as well. Resources respawn, like I already alluded, these flowers to come back. Sometimes they show up in different areas. So even though you know where some of the main ones are in like day 1, where the other resources are going to show up after that is a bit of a random gag. So you don't always know the exact path to take. So you're going to get the 15 iron or something like that. Because other than the first day setup, it starts becoming super random. All the fight gear is random. So unless you're crafting it, you can't be sure what items you're going to get. Every random character you meet has a random trait. For example, this one's stupid, so they gain 10% less experience. But we're going to talk to here, and we're going to hand over... We can hand over this person here, and we get 90 gold for doing it. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna test here... This is, again, you only have one save slot, by the way, too, so it's pretty brutal. We're gonna try and steal something. Haven't done any stealing yet. Wow. 40 to 70 suspicion if we steal this correctly. 62 suspicion, but we were able to steal it. Now if we hand over the prisoner... we didn't get any reduction. No, I don't know if that's a bug. Yeah, exactly. Can pay the people now. That's the exact thing. But I also was expecting to have my suspicion drop by 20 or 30 when I did that. Because I could have swore that was what it said was going to happen. So we're going to go back to the main menu. But there's no quick load either. So like it's very much decided they want you to have One playthrough, and that's it. So let's go Twitch Live 2. I want to see, because sometimes you have to exit area and come back, and again, this is something I can accept for an early access game. So we currently have 0 suspicion. We still have him with us. We're going to try and steal with our thief this item. Holy shit. Oh, we got caught. Oh no, it's only at 62. Why did it go look like it was climbing up to 1,000 there? Interesting. Now we're gonna leave, come back, and see if now when we hand over no. Huh. It says wanted -20 when we do that, but I guess that's currently bugged. Which is too bad, because what I was hoping you might be able to do is take advantage of having the shackles, because the advantage is once you buy the shackle, which I just realized now, and super cool, you get to keep it. So you don't need to have multiple shackles on you. You don't have to keep replacing it. So once you spend the 20 gold to get one, you can keep using it over and over again to get other people. But what I was hoping is if you were lightly stealing along the way to pick up some extra stuff, you could use that skill to... So yeah, I played all of them. I played Baldur's Gate, I played XCOM, and Divinity, both the original Sins, all of them. I like the hex group system in this. It's pretty good. It has a lot of hidden mechanics that aren't explained, which is what I guess like some of my critique comes from. For example, if you have a guy surrounded by one here, one here, one here, you get a surrounded bonus on the creature. But what this game has a little bit differently than Baldur's Gate and all the other ones, is that it doesn't lock you into a grid. So it allows you to have guys who are just like one... there's like a grid inside the grid that you take up, and you're able to be off-centered and tilted a guy, which allows you to do things like use arc weapons and have unique angles on it where you may or may not hit your guys. It allows you to be like, one step ahead of the guy, so technically you still have a way to hit him and still get the adjacent bonus next to your person. There's apparently another benefit, I guess, if you have 3 guys in a row, they get something called a support bonus. I've seen it sometimes, maybe a guy needs a shield, but none of this is laid out. So they have a ton of mechanics that are really very neat and exciting. But again, I don't know where this game is in its early access arc, because again, I just found out about it randomly, I think on December 2nd, and then I bought it, that day, and we're playing it since. So we're totally not stealing anything from her, because we don't want to be wanted. Let's hand over the prisoner and get our money. And we don't have to feed him now, too, which is nice. And he's actually, and the nice thing, I don't know if you noticed, he's in the jail there. So if we want to come back and recruit him later, we could. We're gonna fish. Oh, we sold our fish hook. That's right, we can't. Do we have any iron on us? We do. Okay, we can make a fish hook. Yay. So this is going to give us some food, so we can hopefully feed everybody too. And then hopefully I can show you what I meant about that combat system. But like all the trading skills are active. So there's, you have to like using your mouse. You got to try and keep the fish thing in the center, so you don't break your hook, which can happen. I don't know if there's rare or fish or anything. There's definitely variety. It's like I got a carp and eel there. But you can use those in cooking recipes, and maybe you get rare stuff as well. But like when you craft like blacksmithing, which is I want to go do, I don't think we have enough iron anymore, which is unfortunate. There's little islands that heat spot up, and depending if you hit them just at the right time, it depends on the color that they turn, and that lets you get more experience and like better bonuses on the stuff that you've made. Same thing with the mining thing. There seems to be like there's little circles that you have to put your mouse to the center and click in while it goes in a little smaller ring to be able to make the item. We definitely want this. This lets us make bread with our cook. We need to get a cook very quickly so we can make better food and start refining some of that stuff. But we don't want to switch that person over because they lose all the experience. So what we're going to do is, first off, we should pay people before anyone... Yeah. There. So we have 41 gold to work with. That's enough to get things repaired. All these are the guards. So if we were wanted by guards, they would actually come and run and attack us. And you have to get a skill from that knowledge tree where you can actually hold down shift and run on the mini-map to try and escape them to avoid combat. So we need to blah, 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 blah. We need to repair stuff. Thankfully, that wasn't super expensive. Really want to be able to make a throwing knife if we can. We need 2 iron ore for that. So we're going to try and find 2 iron ore. Our missions are off to this side. Okay, have iron ore. Have iron ore. Not iron ore. This is all random, so you can't guarantee what you're gonna get off these merchants. Sometimes they want stuff from you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have items on sale, which is kind of neat as well. Sometimes they have weapons and armor, which is unique. Because all the weapons have a la Baldur's Gate, or actually some more like Divinity Original Sin. The items themselves that you have give you your base attack. So if I change this to a different sword, this attack will change. As well as the ones you get from leveling up. Sadly, we already got the 2 random drops from here. There's a whole weather thing too, by the way. So it'll snow, it'll rain. That affects stuff as well. There's a bunch of random items as well, which is super, like trinkets and idols that you can do to have a bunch of stuff. One of them I got just was the chance to extract golded teeth from people I've killed at the end of combat, which became an item that I could then sell for gold to help pay for people and stuff. Perfect. So we discovered an area, increased our knowledge a little bit. This guy's got nothing for sale. Again, if we were bandits and didn't care about fighting everyone, you could literally go crazy and just be wanted everywhere. But the combat would inevitably wear you down, I feel. And again, this guy does not have any of the... And when you fight them, I don't think you get the resources either. So that's not like that's just a way of not having to pay for shit. Anyone you see with a purple highlight like this is someone who's going to progress the overall story arc. This guy wants us to go fight a refugee bandit leader that's held up in these caves. In this map, what seems to be the dynamic, and they don't really do it very well, the writing's kind of a little flat, and I wish they had a little bit more flavor to it, is that you're choosing between helping the refugees, who are basically become like a roaming criminal band to try and survive hanging around the wilds, and the existing municipality forces, which are the town guards and mayor, who are being either being racketeered or being robbed by the refugees all the time. So, and you have the option of either helping one or the other, but currently there's no mechanic that makes it like a reputation system that seems to have any impact. So if you help the refugees, it just pushes the story forward versus if you help the other guys. It doesn't seem to have any impact so far. In the larger sense of the word. So we just agreed to get that quest. You see it highlights here on my map. And then we go up here into the caves. Now, this is my other complaint about the game. When you entered the caves here, I was hoping to crawl around a little dungeon for a bit and then have little encounters. But what really happens, I gotta remember to hit pause. Time is always moving. So if you don't hit pause, time's always moving in the game, which means you have to rest and feed people and pay people. So be cognizant of that if you get talkative like me. All the dungeons so far have been like this little like two-dimensional screen where you don't see your guys. You have the option to see like who's in the room, if there's any items like that you can interact with, and then talk with people, and then you go to the grid combat screen. I've done this fight a ton of times. It's always kind of interesting, but you have the option of fighting him or going back out and fighting the guards. I've decided in this playthrough I'm going to side with the town, so I'm going to fight him. So it basically says that, you know, if we go kill the guards outside, they wouldn't have to use the racketeering thing to get some from the farmers because they wouldn't have anyone to protect them anymore, which doesn't sound very cool to me, so we will fight. So the what's kind of neat is the fight board itself, which here is different every time. So this is not the same fight board the last time I did this fight in this dungeon. So it's the layout is different. Also, this one doesn't appear to have any, but there's occasionally environmental items that you can interact with to help use and dictate the turn of the fight as well, which I think is pretty cool. Unlike other games like Baldur's Gate, Divinity Original Sin, you also have these squares at the beginning of combat where you can set your formation. For example, if I want to keep my archer in the back here, that's great, but I want to bring this guy up into here. And I can swap them around and do all it. Until I take an action, I can keep doing anything I want to try and control how this flow of combat's going to be, which is kind of neat. And also, you can see if by hitting the... It doesn't show. It should have 1, 2, 3 here for, hopefully it's intuitive. And I wouldn't mind an F1, 2, 3 thing to select your character. You got to click on them. But you can see by hitting the action key what your range of movement will be before you do it. It is a super good idea. There's a lot of things, like, this game is surprisingly well thought out and has a lot of really cool mechanics that really make you think and penalize your thing. Now, if you're looking for something that's just like brain dead fun, click, click, click next, this game will not be it. This game is definitely designed for someone who wants something that's challenging in the resource management as well as the combat systems as well. So in this case, I'm going to get to move. So the way the turn order works is a la Baldur's Gate versus, say, like a Divinity Original Sin. There's no initiative. So when the fight starts, I can move any 2 of my guys, and then this person goes. And then one person, and then these 2 people go, and then these 2 people. And that's the order. It doesn't matter what order I move them in. I can just go 2 people, then they go, then 1 person, then they're 2 people, and so on and so forth. And they can change every time. Yes, that would, yeah, it makes it a lot better. Same thing with, I just finished beating Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and that sometimes was annoying because the formation of the guys that you're in would be a pain in the ass, and you couldn't really dictate when the fight started how that would work. Anyways, let's get into this fight. Archers have movement, and then they have a target radius. There's another thing that's very interesting about archers that hasn't happened yet, and I haven't seen this done in any other game, is if I take... I'm just going to move a guy with a shield up here first. And move her up to here. Now, problem some of these guys are going to have spinning, poisoning attacks, which are really deadly. And we can't engage... Actually, to try and win this fight, I want to be able to engage this fighter. If you put a guy next to an archer and engage him, they can't use their arrows. But let's just try and show. So what I meant by the lack of grid system is normally with XCOM or the game, I'd be on this square, or perfectly here, or perfectly here. I don't have the option of this tiered where I can go 1, 2, 3 grids along the edge. So I can stack up guys easily around a single target, and more than just 4. And I think that's very, very neat. It doesn't explain what an adjacent ally means in this type of scenario. I'm hoping if one square is touching, that's what it means. But I find that's kind of adds some more freedom of movement and setup, especially important when you see me move this 2-handed guy here in a second. So I don't want to move that person first. I'll move this person first. Oh, I already moved them. Never mind. That's in the part of their turn. Throw them up here. Do an attack. These Valor Points come back at rest, these golden ones. but you can gain abilities that let you gain temporary ones for the battle that you're in by doing other activities as well. So the Valor Points, these ones down here, this is a bad example. Let's bring up this guy here. So he has 2 special abilities. He's got Weakening Blow and he's got First Aid. But you see the little diamond in the bottom right there? That represents how many Valor Points it costs me to use that ability. The Valor Points you get by resting each day. So if I use this one up, it's gone. And I don't get this golden one back until I rest. But this is too bad. You'll get as you start leveling up, your light DPS characters more than your will get abilities that let you, if you do a certain thing or hit more guys at once or get a killing blow, you'll gain Valor Points that anyone in your team can use that are temporary for the battle that you're in. So you can't go into a new battle with them, but if you stack your timing right and attacks right, you can use a guy to get a killing blow on one enemy, which gives you a temporary Valor Point to use another ability on a guy down to fight at another part of the screen. And that's sort of the timing balances that you can get into with the combat system here, which is really neat. This is what I was talking about with the two-handed weapon. See, it has an arc, so I can, depending on where I put him, might actually let him get a tip of the guy or hit your own guys. And friendly fire is super a thing in this, by the way. The game will very much let you hit and kill your own teammates. And this archer, I knew that was going to be a problem, having him down there. That was a mistake of my setup. I was talking too much. We're going to get these 3 guys next to each other. I don't get a supported bonus. I don't know if it's because of it's a level thing. I've seen it show up before. So this is what I was talking about, archers. So I'm going to move my guy up. This is probably be better or worse. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for 2 minutes too. I'll be right back as well. Anyways, good sir. Thank you for letting me zip out for my quick little Canadian legal smoke. Last sip of my coffee here. So what I was trying to say about archery is you can see that when I bring up the attack, it brings me the circle of radius where I can hit, and it highlights with the red X's where I can the 2 guys I can hit. What it's not telling me is that when I highlight my attack thing over the target, you'll notice that my guy has a little light up on it as well. What this means is the game is measuring the angle of trajectory of my arrow and deciding that because these guys are possibly in the way, there's a chance I can hit my own teammate as opposed to hitting him. So when you position your archers, you want to make sure that they have a clean line of sight to the target. So ideally they won't hit your guys. The percentage chance that they may hit your team, no, you don't get to see. You don't know. It's not measured anywhere. It just happens or it doesn't happen. Wish you luck. So we're going to fire into here to try and do some damage to this guy, praying that we don't hit Themon here. But we didn't, thank God. But I've had this happen where literally they've killed a teammate because of that particular mechanic. So ideally, you want to have your guys doing these type of arcs so they have a clean line of sight to do damage to people. Alright. So it's a new round. It always highlights the last guy you used to start a round, but you can jump around and switch to a different people. And that's something that it's important to try and keep memory of. Now look at this. Look at this. I get to knock this guy out because we still have the shackles. So we're going to take that guy prisoner. How cool. That is that is so super cool. Like I said, these are dynamics that I love. And also, I just can't think of games that have had something quite that deep in it in a long time. This should... Yeah, so now, because we're on here, you notice that he has now the surrounded bonus on it. I think that lets us do extra damage to the target. This guy has the ability, whenever he gets a kill shot, gives us one of those temporary Valor Points. Oh, it's okay, mate. So what you missed is that this guy here, you can't see, I wish there was a better zoom in. We got down to 1 hit point, so we've shackled him. We've taken another prisoner with us, so we have a prisoner now because we were able to keep those shackles. And by putting our 3 guys here in this combat grid system, we were able to give this guy this little market here, which is surrounded. And I don't know, I guess you have to have 3 guys in some kind of arc like this, or 3 guys someone touching all 3 corners of the enemy cell, but yeah, that's some of the other stuff that we've seen. This guy is engaged, because that's how they're facing each other. To move him without taking... the only way I can move him around the battlefield is to disengage from combat, and he gets an attack of opportunity against him if we do that. Pass the turn, he's taking poison damage. This is what I was talking about, the two-handed weapon users. So, as you see when I highlight here, he's got this arc of attack, which would also hit my guy here. But I can do this attack. I'm going to use a Valor Point. Yeah. He's now weakened. We hit him for a ton of damage. This archer is having a field day here because we haven't engaged him in combat. Oh, and that guy got to do a ton of damage there. So the reason why we're going to make sure we want... This is what type of archer which you missed. So the thing about different archer in here is because it measures the angle from where you are towards your target, and you have a percentage chance of hitting other targets in the line of sight. And the percentage chance is they don't show you. So if I fired at him right now because of where he is, I have a chance of hitting these 2 targets as well. And this has killed some of my teammates before. Thankfully, and because he had this ability here, I have now a temporary Valor Point I can use on any other character for the rest of this battle. Oh, new round start. I can get this guy all the way down in here. This will now engage the archer in combat, and I'm going to use the free Valor Point I have to do some more damage to him. My archer, now that he has a clean line of sight, no longer has a chance of hitting him. We're going to try and get some... there you go. Nice little critical hit there. And so galvanization, once you get so much morale in combat, you end up unlocking combat bonuses that affect the overall benefit as well. And there's rare items you'll get that will let you get morale for hits and stuff like that as well. The goodies, as far as loot goes, is actually pretty neat so far from what I've seen. Yeah, so he only gets to do 2 damage because he's engaged. He can't shoot his arrows anymore. I'm not going to use him because anywhere I put him, he's likely to... I have to use him. Kill my teammate. Yeah, that's a big problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to move him down here. We have already used our chains, so we can't, unfortunately, take this guy hostage. But we're going to see how I can change the angle. I'm going to turn him like this. And now he's targeting, so next turn he'll hit anything in this arc guaranteed for extra damage. That's the attack that we got with that weapon, as opposed to a straight damaging attack we might have had with other stuff. And that's I've had that work to my benefit and to my great downfall of getting items that all of a sudden the attack that comes with it is something I can't take advantage of or use. So now we kill this guy. They're dead. All our armor's beat to shit. Someone's injured. This is not... Well, that's okay. The injured person is the person we took hostage. But we did get some new armor, which is really good, and 26 gold. And then we can talk to this guy. He just appears, you know what I mean? So, which is kind of weird. And you didn't notice, but he was standing there by himself. So once you hit accept, now the dead body of the guy is here, and I can loot this key. Keys are consume on use. So what I didn't show you is that there's a chest here that I can use a golden key on, but it's always 3 gems, which I guess is good for money and not something to be underestimated. But also here, and I'm going to save here because I might scum a little bit, is another chest that also uses a gold key. And this is random loot. In this case, and this is why I said I'm going to save scum, we got a basic shield and 12 gold. Not good enough for me. And I don't necessarily recommend you play this way, but I'm going to save scum a little bit. That's just how it is. I'm not going to do it forever. But the game is hard enough as it is. So I'd like another shot at that. So you'll see here if I click here and use the key again. Now I got gloves, which is a trinket. I can sell that for 21 gold. And I got the same shield, which sucks. We're going to do this one more time. Thankfully, it loads fairly quickly. But this is actually how I got, by doing this, is how I got appreciation for some of the depth in the game by seeing them at it. Now, here we go. Here we go. We got an axe that has the ability called Arm of Justice on it. I hope we have someone that can use it. A piece of cloth, which is good for crafting, and 14 gold. So we're going to snap that stuff up big time. We're also at 173 gold, which means that we can afford to pay people shit. And we have a free knowledge, we have a knowledge point to spend still. And I'm very tempted to take saddlebags so we can have more carrying capacity. We're going to make bread soon. We don't have anyone to make these recipes. I think I'm going to... It's that or less food. Actually going to take running. This is the only ability like this, and it's the only way that you can avoid stuff in the mini-map. Oh, you're working on something. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, well, from my end, it's very, very cool in some of its depth and complexity, and something that if I was working on something, might be inspiring as well. It's simple in a lot of other ways, so I definitely will say that. It's very quiet. The characters, your group here, you don't really feel any attachment to it. So like they don't have any mini missions or anything like that. So it's all about kind of moving around the area. You don't feel any real kinship or ownership to your team, and I think that might be by design. There's a board game called Kingdom Death Monster, which this game really reminds me a lot about. We need